What's up, party people, to another episode of Who Actually Podcast. I am your humble host, Duty 2 Groovy, with the amazing Kim Vogue in the building. How are you doing tonight, Kim?
I'm sorry for the pushback. It was my fault. I wanted to do this.
It's all good. You got to look good to feel good to teach good. So, today's episode is all about venerating men, but there's a couple things that I want to talk about before we get into that. And for one, YouTube has been censoring a lot of information and a lot of truth seekers and that types of thing. So be aware that they're playing with numbers. They're making it to where like the audience can't see, you know, when our content is up and everything like that. So just be on the lookout that there's a big censoring campaign going on with true information. So we're gonna start off like kind of like we did back in the day. Facts. Hit the like button on the way in, family. Hello. We got some videos to play, and then we're gonna get into the lesson. So I'm gonna share my screen. Now, this first video is gonna be about COVID, and I know y'all probably are tired of hearing about the COVID stuff, but unfortunately, we're living in history right now, so there's a lot of stuff going on with it. Mm-hmm. Now, with this video, you are going to hear some officials talk about whether COVID is actually a hoax or not. So I'm going to play it.
What's up, Barry?
All right, man.
What do you know, Barry?
You can take out the mask, Doug. The case fatality rate's like 0.1 to 0.3.
Really? That's reassuring.
USC.
Everybody here's been vaccinated anyway.
USC and LA County Public Health came out with a study. They found that there were 7,000 cases in California, but they really believe that there are anywhere from 221,000 to 442,000.
Really?
So that makes it 0.1 to 0.3. Is a study to get out later?
Yeah, just give it to them. So it suggests the case fatality rate of 10.
Wow.
So it's right in line with the flu.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is.
So it was a hoax.
I don't think it was a hoax.
So,
all right, folks. I don't know if you guys heard that. You heard it here first at Golden State Times. What's going on in the background? Very interesting stuff. That's the reason why we have the hot mic going on. That's why we have.
So long story short, they were just talking about how the numbers are being fudged in the amount of cases are, I think they said 2/3 of actually what's reported. So boom. Now we're going to be talking. This has something to do with COVID as well, but this has something to also do with the prison system. A few weeks ago, there was a rioting in the takeover, a prison riot in Louisiana because of the conditions, and I'm going to show that video now. Yeah.
Oh
Oh shit! Turn it around. They tearing this shit up. Oh shit! Look at. Oh shit! Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh, what's my ass?
Just got in my eyes.
I just don't mess with her, bitch. That's all I say.
Oh shit! Come here.
Now, what kind of conditions would it drive for people to act like that? Indeed.
New York. Oh shit!
They set it on fire. You see that?
Fuck, you need my shit.
What's up in here?
Yeah. Oh shit! What up? This shit loud, little mama.
You put this shit on CNN, they got somebody here. So stop. We need to talk, bro.
That's all we can do. That's why we go out to our county. You don't know what's going on here.
We're trying to do the social distance, man. We need to social distance in this motherfucker. What are you tripping, man?
No, all this shit, nigga. That's what we can do, man.
Social distance in this motherfucker.
That's all we can do. I ain't fucking nothing up. I'm just trying to make shit happen, man. You know what we need help. You know what time it is. We're tired of asking. It's our crazy shit.
We do something about all safety, our family safety, all that, man. Everything. We do something about all that. I can go talk to them.
Fuck that shit. It's hard as shit, nigga.
She's tired of it.
It's hard as shit.
Now, once again, this is happening in Louisiana. This happened in Louisiana. I think y'all get the gist of what's going on. Kim, what do you think about that?
So the context is that. So is that like their own little riot or what's going on? Or
Yeah, they rioted inside the Louisiana prison because of medical condition. Like they weren't getting the proper medical equipment, and like I guess the disease was spreading fast, and no one cared about getting ventilators or anything like that. So
well, that's the only way they can show that they're tired of the BS. I don't really have.
yeah.
It's jail, so how else are they gonna express? I mean, that's all they know, probably. I don't want to, and I hope that doesn't sound like they're lesser. I'm just saying, like, what else is there to do?
I get exactly what you're saying. Like if they're trying to communicate with the powers that be, their wants and needs, and they're not getting met or listened to and ignored, then what else are you supposed to do?
Not gonna just sit there in silence. It's just, why? Especially the guy, like, I don't know what they've done, and I already know that there's some innocent people that are in jail, but I don't know them. They could have done something horrible. So, like, dangerous people are going to do dangerous things, and that's their way of addressing it, then I mean, what else are they supposed to do? I mean, come on.
Exactly.
Fuck the government at this point. That's all I can say. Come on. So
I completely agree. So, like I said, okay, this episode is all about the veneration of men, but I have a clip that I got to show you to show what the exact opposite of what a real man is before we get into the good men. So,
y'all, he almost left out my favorite Egyptian god, y'all. He almost left out Akhenaten. I said, you better put him in there. You better put my in there. That's my.
I wasn't trying to show no disrespect.
Father, like I feel like I was probably like his daughter in the past. Like I know that's my ancestral father or something. Come on.
I feel you. We're gonna get into ancestors soon enough. All right, this is a video I want to show you. I'm not even gonna. Well, it's kind of graphic. This is not a children's podcast, so it's gonna be graphic. But I feel like this needs to be seen, so I'm gonna play it.
You want to pull a gun on? You want to pull a gun on me? You live? You bout that? You bout that? You bout that?
Watch out,
you gonna
bro.
shoot me?
Get me off camera.
You gonna shoot me?
Get me off camera.
It's my phone. You can't tell me to do shit.
Get out of my
Tell me
house.
to do shit. You gonna shoot me?
What the fuck?
You gonna shoot me?
Nigga, you really?
You gonna shoot
Everybody
me?
who watching. Well, this nigga smoke churn. Smoke churn.
Man, half of the people that's on my shit don't even know what that shit is, man. Half of the people on my shit don't even know what that is.
You wanna die on live? Get out.
Bitch, you ain't gonna do shit. That's the point. That's why I'm on here, because you ain't gonna do shit. You not gonna pull it. You not bitchy enough to do it. You're scary. My nigga, you ain't no gangster, my nigga. I bet y'all slap the piss out you. Ah, fuck! This girl just shot me! This girl just shot me!
I don't mean to laugh, but just to let y'all know, he is okay. The guy is okay. He didn't pass away or anything like that. He's all good.
What was the backstory?
Huh?
What was the backstory?
She broke up with him because he cheated and he didn't want to leave.
What kind of?
Yeah, so she had the gun the whole time and she was trying to tell him to leave. And you don't threaten to hit no girl, period. And that's a lame, and that's not a man. A man would never threaten to hit a female.
And I don't
like, period. And the fact that, man, look, he said, I will slap you and walk towards her. So yeah, you getting popped.
Okay. Well,
that's what the gun is for.
I don't know what you would say. That's why I'm just like, I don't know if you know what I mean. I mean, I would see the same thing. That's what he gets. But I mean, I don't know.
Exactly. He tempted her. She told him so many times to like just leave, bro. Just leave. Like you messed up. So how you gonna try to just bully her into like keep like letting you stay in the house? And he was clearly childish by the way he was high and all that stuff. Yeah. So that's what a man is not. Now, I have this short film to play. Hold on, let me. This is another short film by J King Media, ENT, and I'm gonna play. It's a nice short film. I enjoyed it, so I'm gonna play it for you all now.
We're gonna be shuffling while we look at it.
Okay.
Of course, that'll happen.
Okay.
Man, I always looked up to my father. In their marriage, everything was just perfect. My dad was something I always aspired to be because he just made my mom so happy. But eventually, my father started messing around with other women. And my mother was hurt. It hurt her so bad, man, that eventually she decided that we need to leave and go live with her mom. It broke my heart, man. The man that I always looked up to just crushed my dreams. And then when I got older, I found and began to date myself, and I found a woman that just changed my life. I said, I'll never be the man that my father used to be. I'll love my wife and caress my wife. But, I was broken. Eventually, I became who I hated. I started looking at other women, and things that just began to just start out innocent just got out of control. I knew I was wrong when I did it, but there's no way I was going to be able to back out. And I would go home and see the disgust and the hurt on my wife's face. And I was just living a lie, just lying and saying nothing is going on, until eventually he started eating me, and I had to just come clean. And I tried to tell her, baby, I stepped out. But it was too late for me to make things right, so she left me. I wanted to work it out, but she served me the papers. And I said, God, right now I need your help. I just need you to redeem me. I became who I hated. So God answered my prayer and raised up a man to stand in the gap. And they made an agreement and made a covenant and said that they would stand in my corner and speak into my purpose and destiny, so that I'll become the man that I was destined to be.
So basically,
Yeah.
I was listening. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't watching. I'm trying to get this together. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, I understand. No.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go.
I was gonna say it's pretty common that people will attract what they've grown up with or what they've seen. It happens, even if we don't. Because even though I don't want to use her as an example, because I know people don't like her, especially in this channel we will. But Nicki Minaj, right?
Mm-hmm.
She was raised in a very abusive family and everything. Her father cheated and blah 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 blah. And her her brother is alleged a pedophile, and so
No, he did that shit.
okay, I didn't look into it. Okay, so he's a pedophile, and she told herself she would never let a man do that to her what her father did to her mother, but it happened anyway. She would never know, and now she's with a pedophile.
Yeah.
And a rapist. So it's like, it is so common to attract things you said you'll never become. It's common. So we just gotta. I guess it's like our way of testing ourselves. Mm-hmm. But then it's like, this is a choice. It's still in my opinion, cheating is never on accident. It was a choice.
Mm-hmm.
You could have avoided it. There's no, and I don't know what's on people's heads, but I know what I'm capable of doing and what not to do. Growing up with certain women in my family, and I have those tendencies. I do. Like, for example, I know that I'm capable of having narcissistic tendencies. I know not to use them, and I know how to make myself better because that's all I've seen and that's all I've known. Mm-hmm. You never do certain stuff on purpose. Sometimes I could understand if you're in an argument, you might say something, outrageous. But if you literally do something like cheating, that's something that you can avoid. So, but it's not hard to control ourselves. I guess that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not in people's lives, so I don't know what goes on in their heads. But it's
Well,
still possible to attract certain things that's going on in childhood. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this, that I think the film definitely brings up a conversation that those in the Black community don't like to talk about. And I guess the thing that I got out of it was like, break the cycle. Don't, just because you grew up with something, that doesn't mean that gives you an excuse to repeat it, because just like you were hurt by the actions, like the other person will feel hurt too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what I got out of it.
Mm-hmm. So
another thought-provoking film from J. King Media. Now we're going to move on to the lesson, though. Some positive black things. Oops. Okay. Let me go ahead and go to the top. Today's lesson: honoring the Black men. I'm going to go to the slideshow. Okay. Let's get right into it. Masculine brain. The brain is split apart in two different sections, the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere. Though both men and women can tap into either side of their brain, men operate predominantly from the left hemisphere of the brain, aka the left brain. What is the left brain? It is the logic, the sequencing, linear thinking, mathematics, facts, and thinking in words. Divine masculine. Masculine is the forward momentum of action. Masculine is the doer, the protector, the provider. Masculine is analytical, assertive, and logical. Divine masculine energy defined. Divine is of, from, or like God or a god. Masculine having qualities or appearance traditionally associated with men, especially strength and aggressiveness. And energy is the strength and vitality required for sustained physical or mental activity. Amazing Black men of the ancient past. Akhenaten.
You had to put him first, just.
Yeah, for the queen. Aten is pleased. And I'm going to play a short video as soon as it feels like loading. Okay, there we go.
Now, King Akhenaten was a powerful African ruler in ancient Egypt. He is also known as Pharaoh Akhenaten. The title Pharaoh was the name which the African kings of Egypt used from the time of the first Pharaoh of Egypt, named Pharaoh Narmer, who established the empire in 3100 BC. Ancient Egypt was located in northeastern Africa along the longest river in the world, named the Nile River. Pharaoh Akhenaten became the ruler of ancient Egypt in 1351 BC and was part of the 18th dynasty of Egypt. The father of Akhenaten was the Pharaoh Amenhotep III, and his mother was Queen Tiye. The name Akhenaten means, he who is of service to Aten. The wife of Pharaoh Akhenaten was Queen Nefertiti, and she gave birth to 6 daughters for the king, and in addition he had other wives. Now, the Pharaoh Akhenaten is credited with introducing monotheism into Egypt. Monotheism is the belief in the existence of only one creator God and is strictly singular. That is to say that in monotheism, God is the sole creator of the worlds and sustainer of the entire universe with no partners, associates, sons, or daughters. The name that the Egyptians used for God was Aten, and Pharaoh Akhenaten wrote a poem called the Great Hymn to Aten, which was dedicated to God, in which he glorifies and praises him. Akhenaten also forbade the worship of any other deities except the one true God. The worship of Aten is known as Atenism, and a number of new sites were constructed by the pharaoh, including the city of Akhenaten, which was later known as Amarna, and became the capital of the empire. The city was located east of the Nile River and between the other Egyptian cities of Thebes and Memphis. At the city, 4 districts were established: the central city, North City, southern suburbs, and the outskirts, covering the area of 8 miles with over 10,000 inhabitants. Within the North City, a palace was constructed, and it was where the great royal wife Nefertiti resided. This period of his rule is often referred to as the Amarna period, and during this time, many artworks were commissioned and developed, known as Amarna art. Characteristics of the art created in this period included increased depictions of the beauty of nature, paintings of day-to-day activities. Princesses were drawn with elongated skulls and very detailed sculptures. Akhenaten eventually ruled for a period of 17 years and is known as an intellectual revolutionary African king whose dynamic ideas fundamentally changed the religious, political, and artistic direction of Egypt.
And just to be clear, just because he did monotheism doesn't mean he didn't acknowledge other gods and goddesses that we have. Obviously, there is more than one, or else he wouldn't even consider himself, a ruler or something of some sort. You know what I mean? But sun worship, because he, like my name, of course. Sun worship is probably one of the most important, things we could possibly do and have and exist. Doesn't mean that other deities or other types of rituals or anything of that sort isn't as important,
Right.
So there's nothing wrong with having monotheism. There are people that literally only serve the universe and that's it. And there's other like deities and other beliefs or whatever out there. So I just want to make that clear.
I'll say it, and this is just my opinion. Nobody has to believe what I'm saying, but I believe that the veneration of nature is the most important thing that you can do. Be grateful not only for Aten, aka the sun, but be grateful for the grass under your feet.
Yeah, exactly. And he probably knew that, but because like in my head, because I was like, how come he only just the sun, but just without the sun, we probably won't have the grass under our feet thriving.
Without the photons that's given off in the vitamin D, we wouldn't be able to survive.
Yeah, so that's where I was like, because that's what I agree with you on that too. That's probably one of the reasons why he just did the sun. I don't know what is in his head, but it makes sense. Without the sun, the hell will be it.
Yeah, everybody gets their due respect, but the sun, scientifically, spiritually, all that's the giver of life. I mean, that's just what it is. Like, be mad at creation if you don't believe that. But yeah. It's going to take a little minute. Okay. Our next great man of the ancient past, Thutmose III. Born, I don't want to butcher this, but Piri, eternal is the manifestations of Ra.
So welcome everybody to another Behind the Theme. Today we're talking about Thutmose III, known as ancient Egypt's Napoleon, the greatest warrior pharaoh in history, and other such famous monikers. He gained these accolades by fighting in 17 campaigns in his life and never losing a battle. On top of that, he is the warrior pharaoh that expanded Egypt's empire to its largest size in history. Now, Thutmose III became pharaoh at an early age, but due to his age, his stepmother, Hatshepsut, ruled as regent, and at one point even took the title of pharaoh for herself. This situation would last 20 years of Thutmose' life, and with all the time he had from not ruling his empire, he spent in the military as a hobby. Although it must be noted that before his first campaign and the Battle of Megiddo, which we will get to next episode, he never really had any real battle experience. That was because the reign of Hatshepsut was a peaceful one, with Hatshepsut choosing to avoid war even as the situation in the north of the empire deteriorated. And there was a legitimate reason to worry. As for Egypt's 3 million people, there was the historical precedent set by the Hyksos just 2 centuries before. The Hyksos were a nomadic people from the northeast and managed to invade and take over the northern part of Egypt. Now, this was a surprise for all, as Egypt was considered invasion-proof. The reasons why was because 90% of Egypt is basically desert, with the north protected by marshes, the east and west by the deserts, and the south by rocks in the rivers. Now, this all changed when the Hyksos came in with chariots, a new technology of the time, as it reduced traveling time. It was Thutmose III's own ancestor, Ahmose, who beat the Hyksos out of Egypt by using chariots of his own, and ushering what is known in Egyptian history as the New Kingdom era. Thus why Thutmose III disagreed with Hatshepsut's policy of peace, and when he finally wielded real power after her death, donning the crown, which was a mix of both the crown of Upper and Lower Egypt, first joined possibly by Pharaoh Nama, speculated to be Egypt's first pharaoh, which would usher in 31 dynasties of pharaohs. Thus, when he wore that crown, Thutmose III chose war. Now, what happens next? And this campaign of Thutmose III is recorded by what is arguably the world's first war correspondent, Janeni, whose words are carved at the Temple of Karnak detailing the Megiddo campaign. Now, he writes that less than 1 year after Thutmose III takes over, the Canaanite prince of Kadesh decided to unite the region to throw off Egyptian influence. Now, historians also found out that possibly that the Canaanite princes were encouraged and influenced by another power in the region, the Mitanni. So that could have played a part in their confidence to beat off what was possibly the most powerful nation in the region at the time. Now, the Prince of Kadesh managed to gather to his cause 150 other princes and an army of about 10,000 men, and gathered them at the strategic city of Megiddo, which was only 150 miles from Egypt and straddles the major trade routes to the riches in the north. Now, Thutmose III, instead of fighting a defensive war, decided to strike first, moving his entourage to the fortress of Tijaru and gathered his army. So the stage is set, and next time we will talk about the Megiddo campaign and how the Egyptians went to war. Also, we'll talk about its after effect. So let me know what you think.
Our next great black man of the past, Osei Kofi Tutu the First. He is the co-founder of the Ashanti Empire, which is present-day Ghana. I'll play the first 3 minutes, then we're going to
back at it
move
with
on.
another video of African history, culture, and worldview. And today, I'm going to tell the story of Osei Tutu and the rise of the Ashanti. And as always, if you want to support the home team, you can do so on patreon.com. I have some new rewards for you guys, so be sure to check that out. Also, go to afrographics.com, a website where you can find unique illustrated pictures of Ghana. The Dinkera established one of the earlier kingdoms at the southern end of the trade routes, but the most famous was that of the Ashanti. The Ashanti look back to the lost city of Asantamanso as their origin. In the town of Akwamu, there was a conflict over the succession of the death of a king. His sister, the queen mother, Nkansa, had twins. The elder was chosen to be king. To avoid future conflict, Nkansa left the country with the younger son, Obiri Uboa, and many followers, and they traveled amid difficulties and hostilities until the king of Bono granted them some land on which to establish themselves. This became the town of Asantamanso, and soon after Obiri Uboa had been named king, a Dinkera princess came from the north to take up residence. She had also lost an election, and her sister had been named Queen Mother. The town prospered for a time, but then some 50 or 60 years later, a bitter dispute arose between the various kingdoms and a civil war broke out. Asansa Manso was destroyed and its inhabitants were scattered, except for one prince of the family of Obiri Yaboa who remained to watch over the royal graves. The Denkera soon exerted their power and made the entire region tributary. Obiri Yaboa's sister was married to the king of the Ashanti, and for a long time they were childless, until they consulted a celebrated diviner who found the means to ensure them a son. That son was Osei Tutu. Osei Tutu was a fine young man with all the marks of royalty. As a prince, he was soon called away from home, however. He was summoned to the court of the king of Denkera, in part to serve as a hostage for his parents' good behavior. He immersed himself in the Denkera court, despite his captive status, learning as much as he could, especially about the manner of the administration and the maintenance of power, and he proved his worth so effectively that he was made a royal sword-bearer. This function brought him often into the inner circle of the royal court. There, he met and loved Princess Abena, the king's sister. This was imprudent, of course, since she was of the ruling family and because she was already married to an elder. Their love affair became known. It became dangerous when she fell pregnant, and people knew clearly who was responsible. Osei Tutu realized he would have to leave the court and flee. He did not stay at home with his parents. To do so would bring death upon them. He knew the king of Denkera would send soldiers to punish him. He fled beyond their lands, and there he continued to study the ways and knowledge of different peoples. In particular, he went to Akwamu, which was the town of the diviner who had assisted his parents in the matter of his own birth. In Akwamu, he met a new diviner, a master of occult powers named Anokie, to whom he was actually distantly related. The two young men took a liking to each other, and on one occasion, Osei Tutu interceded with the king of Akwamu to release Anokie from a punishment. So when word came to Osei Tutu that his uncle, Obiri Yaboa, had been killed in a war with the Doma and that he was summoned to assume the throne, it was natural for him to ask Anokie to accompany him. Osei Tutu was made king of the Ashanti, and Anokie became his chief diviner. Their first challenge was to settle the war that had brought the death of Obiri Yaboa, and with Anokie's help and some skillful organization, Osei Tutu quickly and victoriously accomplished this. He unified his own kingdom, which had been splitting apart, and then rode the crest of that victory to subdue the neighboring peoples and to found the great Ashanti state that would rule the forest zone for 300 years. He established the golden stool of the Ashanti as a symbol of their unity. Princess Abena gave birth to a son, and the son became the king of Denkera by the rules of matrilineal succession. He was named Ntim Gyakari, and he was the king who had to face a challenge to Denkera's rule, represented by the growing power of the Ashanti under Osei Tutu. Matters came to a head when he sent messengers to demand the annual tribute in gold, and the assembly of the Ashanti unanimously declared that they would give no gold. One Ashanti went so far as to slash the messenger with his sword and cut off an ear. They sent the messengers back, filling the great brass pan of the king of Denkera not with gold, but with stone. Then, realizing what they had done, they turned to Anokie. He told them to delay the war for a time, while he prepared magical defenses for the kingdom. He also asked for volunteers, men who would rush to death to ensure the victory for their people. A number of volunteers came forward, and as a
long story short, this man created a whole empire in such a short amount of time. He was a great.
I love this YouTuber, but he just takes a long time. But
yeah, that voice. That voice is very.
It makes me still want to. Yeah, his voice still makes me like draw into him somehow. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Why? Yeah.
But he definitely does great work. So I encourage everybody. I put his YouTube channel in the chat. Go check him out and let him know who brought y'all there, who asked you podcast. But amazing black men of the past. Marcus Garvey. That look like my dad. I think that's my spiritual dad right there. Prophet of Pan-Africanism and Black nationalism. Marcus Mosiah Garvey Jr. was born on August 17th, 1887 in St. Anne's Bay, Jamaica. Garvey was the last of 11 children born to Marcus Garvey Sr. and Sarah Jane Richards. His father was a stonemason and his mother a domestic worker and farmer. He founded the Universal Negro Improvement Association in 1912, dedicated to promoting African Americans and resettlement in Africa. He promoted a separatist philosophy of social, political, and economic freedom of blacks. Black financial freedom. By 1919, Garvey and UNIA had launched the Black Star Line, a shipping company that would establish trade and commerce between Africans in America, the Caribbean, South and Central America, Canada, and Africa. Garvey started the Negroes Factories Association at the same time, which was a series of companies manufactured marketable commodities in every big industrial center in the Western Hemisphere and Africa. In August 1920, UNIA claimed 4 million members and held its first international convention at Madison Square Garden in New York City. Now, this is one of their, let me go back. This right here is one of their posters that they had. It says, the Negro Factories Corporation build factories, operate factories, and control your own destiny. And this is their Black Star Line ticket. So that is great. Enemy of white supremacy. W.E.B. Du Bois, a prominent black leader and officer of the NAACP, called Garvey the most dangerous enemy of the Negro race in America. FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover felt threatened by Garvey, fearing he was inciting blacks across the country to stand up in militant defiance. Hoover referred to Garvey as a notorious Negro agitator and for years sought ways to find damning personal information on him, and he even hired the first black FBI agent in 1919 just in order to infiltrate Garvey's ranks and spy on him. Excuse me, and I have a short, I'm not going to play the whole thing, of course, because it's a long speech, but I just wanted y'all to hear his thoughts.
When I am dead, wrap the mantle of the red, the black, and the green around me, for in the new life I shall rise up with God's grace and blessing to lead the millions of the heights and the triumph that you well know. Look for me in a world when there is storm. Look for me all around you, for with God's grace I shall come back with countless millions of black men and women who have died in America, those who have died in the West Indies, and those who have died in Africa to aid you in the fight for liberty, freedom, and life. Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. They gave leadership to our foreparents, and that leadership made them slaves. But we have decided to find a leadership of our own to make ourselves free men. Our great scholars, having passed through the colleges and universities, have thrown away the blessed record. Babylon did it. Assyria did it. France under Napoleon did it. Germany under Prince von Bismarck did it. England under America under George Washington did it. Africa with 400 million black people can do it. If you cannot do it, if you are not prepared to do it, then you will die. You race of cowards. You race of imbeciles. You race of good for nothing. If you cannot do what other men have done, what other nations have done, what other races have done, then you have better die.
Amen.
Can we do it? We can do it. We shall do it. We have prayed to God for vision and for leadership. And He has given us our universal vision. A vision that will not limit our possibilities to America, A vision that will not limit our possibilities to the West Indies, but a vision that said it must be a free and redeemed Africa. Christ the crucified, Christ the despised. We appeal to you for help, for succor, for leadership. When you endeavor to carry your burden up the heights of Calvary, when white men scorned you, when white men scorned you, when white men spat upon you, when white men pierced your side out of which blood and water gush forth, it was a black man in the name of Simon the Syrian who took your cross and bore it up the heights of Calvary. And now that we are bearing our burden of being so heavy, we just ask that you just help us all up the heights. Oh, yes, the cause is grand, the cause is glory. Surely we shall not turn back. Oh, sail on, sail on, sail on, almighty ship of state, sail on until the flag of the red, the black, and the green is perched upon the hills of Africa. Because the time has come for the black man to forget his hero worship of other races.
Now, I have to say this.
Mm-hmm.
What a sad reality that even since the early 1900s, we have had great leaders tell us this, and yet and still in 2020, we're not there yet.
Mm-hmm.
Any black person who ever argues with me about separation,
especially if you got like, when I think of his situation and this, I think of people who are in fraternities and sororities. I'm just like, you guys are just as worse, because the same people that try to bring them down, you're in it. And I don't want to fucking hear you guys.
Yeah.
You guys don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I don't care. Like, y'all so quick to clown people. They know what they know. They see it. Somehow you guys don't, but want to beef and want to clown people.
Yeah, like, why are we having the same issues and the same sentiments that Marcus was talking about? It's as if he was here. Like, honestly, I felt like I was listening to General Seti.
A little bit of the accent, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
the power and the passion and just
in the truth.
Yeah.
Like, if that didn't reverberate through your body, I don't know. But that was a great man. That was a great man.
And to create an
Fred Hampton. He was an advocate for Black unity. Frederick Allen Hampton, born on August 30th, 1948 in present-day Summit, Illinois, and he grew up in Maywood, both suburbs of Chicago. He founded the prominent multicultural political organization called the Rainbow Coalition in April 4th, 1969. That included the Black Panthers, Young Patriots, and the Young Lords, and an alliance among major Chicago street gangs to help them end infighting and work for social change. Murdered by his own, but his spirit lives on. On December 3rd, 1969, after teaching a political education course, he was drugged by the FBI informant with sleep agent Seco Barbital. After the FBI raided and killed several other Black Panther members, they paraded his body with smiles on their wicked faces. Now, I had a picture of it, but I didn't want to put the ancestor out like that. We honor our ancestor Fred Hampton because he strived to end the bad blood between his own people and fought against police brutality. And here's a speech from him.
I'm the deputy chairman of the state of Illinois Black Panther Party, Fred Hampton. And a lot of people don't understand the Black Panther Party's relationship with white mother country radicals. A lot of people don't even understand that word that Elvis uses a lot. But what we're saying is that there are white people in the mother country that are for the same types of things that we are for stimulating revolution in the mother country. And we said that we work with anybody and form coalition with anybody that has revolution on their mind. We're not a racist organization because we understand that racism is an excuse used for capitalism. And we know that racism is a byproduct of capitalism. Everything would be all right if everything was put back in the hands of the people. And we're going to have to put it back in the hands of the people. Everybody in the state of Illinois is going to have to be involved or even around the revolution because we're going to have one. We're going to have to do more than talk. We're going to have to do more than listen. We're going to even have to do more than learn. We're going to have to start practicing, and that's very hard. We got to start learning, and you learn through practice. We got to start making mistakes, and you learn through making mistakes. We got to start getting out there with the people. And a lot of times we think we're better than the people. That's an insult, and that's criminal. Think you're better than the people. We got to get together and learn where it's at. It's going to take a lot of hard work. Education for children is something else. You ought to dig on it. Every sister in this audience. I'm saying every sister in this audience ought to get themselves together and come on down and help us with that Breakfast for Children program. Y'all ought to come down and help feed them children in the morning. We have Breakfast for Children because we teach the people through practice, through observation and participation, that people can be fed free. That's the people's thing. Socialism is the people. You're afraid of yourself. If you're afraid of socialism, you're afraid of yourself. We know they have our pictures. We know they're looking for us. We know they want us. But we're still saying that even though we could be in a sense, as far as this system goes, on the mountaintop, we in the Black Panther Party, because of our dedication and understanding what's in the valley, knowing that the people in the valley, knowing that we originally came from the valley, knowing that our flag is the same flag as the people in the valley, knowing that our enemy is on the mountaintop, our friends are in the valley. We say even though it's nice to be on the mountaintop, we're going back to the valley. I be in the office every day. I be in the streets propagandizing every day. I be working with everybody every day. I be teaching that solidarity is the thing. The end of a complete wipeout of imperialism is the thing. So if you're going to be thinking about me, that's what Bobby would be teaching. If you're going to be thinking about us, all we say is ain't no thing about going nowhere, getting killed. All we want to know is that you're doing what we'd be doing if we were here. And you got to do that. You can't do it unless you believe that you can do it. In the spirit of liberation, we understand that they want everybody in the party in jail. And we know that if we try to figure out and separate and divide who should go and who shouldn't go, we spend more time doing that than working for the people. So the quick solution, the speedy one, nobody go. Nobody go. We all stay right here. With the people. Because we love the people. Okay, you put your hands down now. We say all power to all people. We say white power to white people. Brown power to brown people. Yellow power to yellow people. Black power to black people. X power for those that we left out. We say Panther power to the Vanguard Party. When you leave here saying the last word, before you go to bed tonight, say I am a revolutionary. Make that the last word. In case you don't wake up, then somebody might believe you. You might end up in what they call a revolutionary happy hunting ground. Say that. I am a revolutionary. Say it when you're going out. Everybody wants people to leave. Okay, we're going to say it while we're going out. And we're going to start a thing called Free Friend. Don't that sound nice? Hey, let's do that. Free Friend. Free Friend. Free Friend. Free Friend. Hey, I ain't even in jail yet.
Yo, that speech is so fire to me. You see the power.
I don't want to. I don't want to sound like a head ass. Low key teared up a little bit. I don't know if you can tell.
You said
ass.
Man, go ahead. How you feel about that?
Looking like, man, what happened to us? We had leaders, and just like it's just the fact that he was killed by his own damn people. I think that's what gets me the most, because I gotta remember that he really was killed by his own.
Man, it's always a coon ass nigga, man. Excuse my language if that's too harsh, for your ears, but it's always a cool ass nigga taking our leaders down, man. That's why I get why Pharaoh be saying like, don't be your own leader. Stop trying to follow people because they always kill. So you got to lead yourself.
Mm-hmm.
He had the crown. He had the people. Like he had the people. Like that energized me as if I was sitting there.
In my city. I wasn't even born yet, man.
That's
Chicago. Y'all need to get. We need to get it together. I ain't that damn far from y'all. I'm there almost every year if I wanted to. We gotta stop, man. We gotta really stop that.
Yeah, that's man. We got greatness all through history. We got too many good examples of great men. Mm-hmm. By the way, he's not included in the presentation, but I wanted to point out that this is James Baldwin that y'all looking at reading to the children. But okay, amazing black men of today. Dick Gregory, comedic truth seeker. Richard Claxton Gregory was born in October 12th, 1932 and ascended on August 19th, 2017. He was an American comedian, civil rights activist, social critic, writer, and occasional actor. He used his comedic platform to speak on social issues, racism, and the political climate of his time. These are all his books that he authored. I actually have this book, Defining Moments in Black History, reading between the lines, but he also has Write Me In, The Shadow That Scares Me, and Nigger, and that's his autobiography. Major historical activist. He was active during the civil rights movement, spoke in Selma, Alabama on October 7th, 1963. He was arrested for protesting by fishing with the Nisqually people in 1966 against discriminatory fishing laws in Washington state. He spoke about the Warren Commission and research into the murder of MLK, and he also developed a diet drink called Bahamian Diet Nutritional Drink. And I'm going to let the excerpt of this amazing, amazing interview.
Old black woman told me I was 6 years old. Here, come here, boy, who you? Reach in my backpack and get that bottle of whiskey. You want something? No. You want to go to bed with me? I hadn't thought about it. Oh, I'm 6 years old. Okay. She said, this is always, put your hand out. Do you feel that heat? I said, no, ma'am. So she put her hand under mine. I said, yeah, I feel it. She said, it's the coolest time of the year. We think it's the hottest time because the heat's leaving. And because of the rhythm, at a certain time, the bird will know it's time to go south. But they said this white man gonna mess it up so bad, man. It's way back in the late 30s. Say they're not gonna feel the heat leaving. So the birds don't know they're supposed to go down south where their dinner's waiting. But they're up here, it ain't no dinner. So they'll eat the bees. Who's responsible for your dinner, boy? He told me that way back then. Babies are born not hating nobody. They learn it from their parents. You have any brothers or sisters?
I had a cousin. He passed.
Any of them got children?
My other cousin has a child.
Okay, I do a test sometime when I'm talking. I say, those of y'all in here, raise your hand. Got children, yeah. We'll go back home this week and get the pictures from the time they was 1 to the time they was 8. You don't see no hatred, no meanness, no whores, no pimps. They learned that from you. When they came here, they were pure and clean. They've been around nobody but your ass. That's how they become pimps, hoes, and hustlers, listening to you around the fucking house.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Thanks again for having the show. Like since we posted the last interview, the response has been incredible. You definitely, the vibrations are going. People are stimulating thought and all that stuff. So I just wanted to take an opportunity to get caught up for one, and then also
anytime you want
to.
Anytime.
Race is a big issue right now. There's a lot of conversations being had about race and justice and injustice. I mean, you've been on the front lines of this. In the last interview, you talk about, you say you apologize to white folks because they're not the real white folks.
Yeah, they're not. The Ku Klux Klan don't determine public policy. The most powerful businessmen in the world is white Christian businessmen in America. They don't wear crosses. You can't find a poor person that got a cross on. They don't wear no crosses. But how can you call yourself a Christian with a gun and the Bible in the same house? Think about that. The most powerful human being on this planet is my mother, father, God. Huh? And every ant on this planet, there's an accountability to that one. Every frog, every grain of sand, every leaf on a tree. Huh? So what can you want for it? Unless somebody shortcutted it.
Well, I think one of the things, when people respond to your interview, it's like, bulbs are lighting up. You're waking up minds.
Yeah.
You're making people aware of things in a way that they may have already agreed with it. Maybe they knew some of it. They didn't know all of it.
Yeah, but see, the people who run this ain't worried about it because it's repeat. You can't get it repeat. When you learned your ABCs, it wasn't because you learned it once a month. It's every day, ABC. And a Muslim cousin of mine, I said, Merry Christmas. I don't believe in no white Christmas holiday. I said, anytime Christmas in this country come on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, your bank closed, you participate.
Right. So
when you can't mail a letter, you participate.
So that's the structure.
Yeah.
It's white supremacy or patriarchy?
No, it's white supremacy. Okay. White supremacy. That's who it is.
Okay.
Supreme. And if I'm not supreme to you, I'll make you think I am. That's how it works. When the World War II ended in Japan and you saw them soldiers putting up the medal, that's bullshit, man. AP got there late, so they just went and picked out some soldiers and put there. 2 of them was Indians. All of them went crazy because the lie was too big. All of them was alcoholics. The lie was too big. But you can look at people. When I went downstairs to use the men's room, if I come back and the brother put some red paint on me, you react to the red paint. You hear me? You react to the red paint. If we went to some darkest part of Africa today, where nobody's ever been, and carried one of them coffee percolators with us, where you have the water down here, and then it goes up, the coffee come back, all we got to do is have the water down here and some red dye, and we can tell them that's blood. We make blood. Okay? See, that's what ignorance is when you have to depend on something else other than what the real God gave you. And then everything changes. Where America is today is when you hear a baby crying, and because of your ignorance and your program, shut up! And the baby, the pen is sticking. The baby been there for 3 days, and now gangrene done sit in. That's why you know America can't. They react to us, the cops, the same way you act to a child. Shut up! Okay. All right. Huh? But you know something's wrong with the police, man. As a child, no boy that had no connections in the family ever wanted a police car for Christmas. It was always a fire truck. That's before I learned anything about good and bad and nasty and evil. Fire truck.
Ouch.
When I was a little boy, I used to, when I hear a siren, I'd say a prayer. Now my prayer is different. When I see the police car, I pray that they and the people they're going to deal with will be safe. That's a hell of a way to interrupt the prayer. You have to say that for fire trucks. You know.
So why are we so targeted?
Huh?
Why are we so targeted by the police? People with dark skin.
Because it's real. It's real. That's like asking a Jew why they talk about Germans, or ask a Christian why they still talking about Christ. 2,000 years later, but they don't want me to talk about it. Talk about Jesus Christ did that 3,000 years ago. Y'all still talking about it, but it's my turn. It's my turn, but I can't talk about it with hatred. See, if you get mad at me, you know, there's a chemical reaction in your body. That's like letting air out your own tire. Don't bother me. But that's what the whole, and then the misinformation. Misinformation.
Such as, well, let's go into some of these Black Lives Matter issues.
Well, Black Lives Matter, one, the Koch brothers is paying for that, so you have to go into that knowing that's bullshit.
Okay.
That's why it's in Time magazine in 1 month, 3 times cover. See, the thing is this.
Yeah, he didn't play. I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit.
Is it like
yeah, I'm gonna play probably like
white folks. Okay. So
I'm gonna play like 2 more minutes.
White folks ain't white.
Okay.
Yeah, I tell white
How good he is.
if you can get on the phone and call the stock market and determine if they're going up or going down, you ain't white.
So, I mean, is there such a thing as an Illuminati?
Uh,
Is there an Illuminati?
if you know about it, it's not. It's bullshit.
Okay.
The real things that count, most black folk don't know about it. The Illuminati, black folk can't even read or write, know about the Illuminati. What's that? It's like the Boule. Talk about black folk. Well, tell me what business they own. What company they own. Y'all sit around talking about the Boule, huh? What goes behind that? Okay? It's the stuff they put out, man. It's a game.
Now, how deep does it run? I mean, you were talking about how the starved rock thing you talked about in the last clip, that encounter that you had, you know, getting fame. Like a lot of people watching it dream of the kind of success that you had.
That ain't number chump stuff, man. Ain't number chump stuff. Who was the number one baseball player? The history of baseball, 100 years. You don't know. Don't give a damn about that. The word fan means, it's a Latin word, fanatic, huh? And while we talking about it, Notre Dame's playing somebody today. Georgia's playing Alabama. Whoever wins, the white team will tear up the town. But it's okay to ride behind a silly game. But when you shoot my dad or my son in the back of the head 40 times, that's off limits. Okay? They do it all the time. Every time the game is won. I never understood why the winners ride. Okay? So this is the game. Martin Luther King will be remembered as long as somebody's on the planet. Athletic stuff. I don't even mention their name.
Right. No, but I'm talking about in terms of like, I read your book, Nigger.
Yeah.
And I read Callous of the Soul.
Yeah.
And I love both books.
Yeah.
I mean, you've led a fascinating life. But there seems to be a transformation, like at the end of Nigger, you're still riding the fame. Like it's a success story in a way of the kind of
Okay.
Right.
Long story short, this man got a whole lot of wisdom. And though you may not agree with everything that he says, he's one of the reasons why I got to the consciousness level that I am now, because I found his work. And I used to just literally just like, I was a janitor at the time when I found out who Dick Gregory was. And I would literally just listen to him as I was cleaning for hours and hours and hours. And I was really sad when he passed away. So,
the reason why I got a good sleeping pattern.
yeah, he got a lot of information. The next person, this is the last one, Dr. Leila Africa. Dr. Africa ascended on March 21st, 2020. He was a holistic healer. He had a doctorate in naturopathy from Anglo-Saxon Institute in England. He was a certified addictionologist with a degree from the American College of Addictionology and Compulsive Disorders. He was a certified nurse from Georgia Baptist Medical Center. He was an acupuncturist, a metaphysician. Oh my God, my mouth is like tongue-tied. A U.S. Army social worker, nurse, and psychotherapist. And he also studied to become a massage therapist, a herbalist, historian, writer, lecturer, teacher, and medical astrologist. He wrote several books as well, but I picked these 4. This is a quote that his wife, Dr. Melanie Stevenson, said that he wanted us to all know. I lived 74 Black years. He wrote The Gullah, People Blessed by God, Nutricide, African Holistic Health, and Melanin, What Makes Black People Black, amongst other books. And here's a short clip of him speaking.
They know the program. You don't know it because the baby is floating in this amniotic fluid and electrical sparks are firing off. You call them electrolytes. When the electricity strikes the mineral, it lights up and we call it electrolytes. So if it's a lot of sparks firing off, we know that's acid. You see, it was just blue sparks, heavenly sparks firing off very slowly. We know that's alkaline. Then the fluid tastes a little acrid when it's acid. It's slippery when it's alkaline. So the baby can touch happiness, hear happiness, see happiness, and drink the amniotic fluid, taste happiness. To the baby, happiness is holistic. Anger is holistic. So from then on, if I want you to bond to something for the rest of your life, I give you a flag, that's the eyes. I give you a sound. You follow me? That's an anthem. And I give you a fruit. So every state, every country has a flag, a color, has a fruit, has a flower, because that's bonding. They're playing the game on you. You don't know it. That's why you bond to football teams, because they have a certain color. Why you think they have colors? They're not doing this stuff. These are billionaires on these teams. They say, how can we make these people addicted to my product? Go hire some psychologists. They hire me. Say, okay, well, let's do this and let's do that, and we have them. They're psychologists that put together the wrappers on candy bars. When a child looks at a cartoon, that's about 15 psychologists coming at him. Sound therapists, color therapists, and they put it together, manipulate the hell out of you, because you don't know how your machine was built. Once you know how this machine is built, you have a lot of respect for it. So the trimesters, they're in 3s, because 3 is a solar number. And we come from a solar system, which we call meta, and some people call it meta-neta. Solar, metric. It's 1 and 0. It's in tens, because those are only symbols you use in computers. It's the 1 and the 0. You don't use any 1, 3, 4, 5. No, it's just 1 and 0 coming out of the metric system, which is a rhythm system stolen by a guy called Morris, who wrote the Morris Code. And you know white boys can't dance. How can he come up with a rhythm language? That's the old Congolese drum language. Communicate a message from one side of Africa to the other in less than 7 days. They use a 1 and 0. That's how they make a computer. It's nothing but a damn drum. You see? But when you don't know this, you can be had, totally had. So the baby's inside the placenta, stays there for 9 months, as you would say. Then it emerges from the uterus. And it has to be in arm. It has to see the mother's face, because the mother's face is the key to understanding itself. It's the key to understanding language. The mother frown when something is, they don't know English, Chinese, Spanish, they just know emotion. So they see that expression on their mother's face. So that sound means unhappy. They see a smile, oh, that sound means happy. So they need to see the mother's face. That's why the umbilical cord comes up to the lady's breast. Each umbilical cord is long enough for the baby to reach the mother's breast. That's it. The baby wants to see the mother's face. That's it. That's the emotional language of the baby. The baby's looking up at the mother, and the beginning of her face is the mouth. And you are trying to bond someone to your religion or whatever it is. You say, in the beginning, there was the word. Duh. You're damn right. If you're looking up at the beginning of your mother's face, it is words coming out of her mouth. In the beginning, there is the words. So I took you through a birth process because you were without form. You were an egg moving upon the earth without form. You still follow me? I just sucker punched you into my religion. No disrespect. I'm just saying because I know how the body is formed, I just take you back to your original DNA and program you. That's all we do. You have to know when to stress the mother and how to damage the sperm. And you can rule a nation. No problem. Sperm is born in 3 months. The sperm is born, but it has to be incubated. So the brother's pregnant for 3 months. He should have a maternity top on. He's always knocked up. Pregnant with sperm. And you know right well, if you're pregnant, you shouldn't be drinking any alcohol. You shouldn't be smoking any cigarettes. You know I'm telling you the truth. And he's pregnant all the time. That's why he like pregnant women. You sure look good. Yeah. He's knocked up anyway. So nonetheless, I'm just trying to give you an understanding of once you understand how this machine is put together, how emotions are put together, then you can take them apart. You have to know how it's put together to take it apart. How to take you away from yourself. Attach you to McDonald's. I use McDonald's colors. I use McDonald's sound. Coca-Cola has music. Coca-Cola has sound. It's red. Because when you close your eyelids and I flash light at it, you will see red. And babies love red of all colors. So I give you this red and you wonder what's going on. No, no, no. I know how the machine is put together. A psychiatrist knows how to make you crazy. They have to know crazy to know sane. They have to know crazy to know sane. Dangerous people. I work for a lot of them, consortiums of them, 12, 20 of them. Crazy guys, you know. I could tell you some stories, but I don't want to scare y'all.
Yeah. That was Dr. Africa, y'all. Another one of the people responsible for me talking to y'all tonight. This presentation has been presented to you by Who Asked You Podcast. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. I encourage you to research and share the information. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We love you all and have a good night. But I'm not ending it there because one of my goals, okay, I'm just putting this out there. One of my goals is to interview his wife, Dr. Melanie Stevenson. I really would like to interview her and talk to her about her late husband and the impact that he had on my life and her life and things of that nature and the holistic teachings. So if anybody could just put the word out or send her this video, I would highly appreciate it because that is one of my goals is to speak to that queen. And I really, really appreciate everybody who's been in the comments, who's been rocking with us. Y'all are amazing. I hope y'all learned something from this lecture. I hope that you guys look into the people that I showed from the past into the present day, because those are very, very, very important voices. Kim, is there anything you would like to add? We got some card reading.
It's
Go
about
ahead, take over.
It's about fucking time. I'm sorry, y'all. I've been slacking. Not gonna lie. So I decided to do a past, present, and future card reading. I'm using the best deck to ever exist, in my opinion. I just got this like a few weeks ago. Where it's at? The writer. This is the reason why I didn't get this deck is because I was like, everybody got this deck. Why do I don't really want to, everybody got it, whatever. But like, I kept seeing it everywhere. I'm like, okay, maybe I should get this. And I'm glad I did. This is amazing. Everything about, like, what's her name? Pamela Coleman Smith. Nobody did it better than her with the illustration. She did that. But so what I got, I did the past, present, and future. So a 3-card reading, past, present, and future. So I got the 8 of Pentacles. Okay. I got the 9 of Cups in reverse, and I got the 5 of Pentacles. So now you guys know me. I could be wrong. You can correct me. Anybody who's there to it, who's doing tarot, but I go by intuition and symbolism. Basically, I've been told that, so I could get this wrong. Mind you, I just got it a few weeks ago, so I'm still learning the deck myself. But these are Pentacles. So symbolically, when you have everything, because Pentacles is Earth. It represents anything material-wise. That's like how do I say it? In the symbolism, you see. I like to think of this hand as the universe giving you something that you long for, which is probably something that's probably like money or material things or something about it. In the background, you see everything. You see growth. You see water and everything, because that's how you feel once you get it, once you feel like you have everything, which is like material gains. And then you have the 9 of Cups, and if you're so focused on this, on I guess what it's saying, if you're so focused on this, it could hit you. Cups is emotion, is ruled by water. In reverse is usually like a reality check almost. And this is hitting me too. Okay, if I'm doing this reading, it's for me and it's for everybody else that's watching. It's hitting me too because I'm very materialistic, and sometimes I can't get ahead of myself. I'm a Taurus cusp. I'm not a Taurus, but like I'm in the cusp. So I have the tendencies of Taurus, their energy, because they're known to be the materialistic sign. So not to mention, I'm a Libra rising. I love nice things. Okay, Venus rules my chart. Venus is about love and creativity and money and everything, abundance. So we can get ahead of ourselves. We can, because if it's upside up, it's like he's just like, I don't like, just the whole I don't kind of care type of attitude, even in his face, and especially in his arms crossed up and his, he's letting his it's getting over his head. What's in reverse, it's like almost like a reality check, and whatever that can get us. What it could be 2 things that I'm getting in the last card. It could bring us down or somebody else down. Notice how he's just during the cold. He's of course struggling. This person, this could be anything. This could because mind you, I'm doing symbolism. This looks like a reddish orange type cloak, and this is blue. So when I think of that, I think of the reddish orange color of your lower self, and you're ignoring your higher vibration, because your throat, that like throat up to here is your higher vibration. So you're ignoring it, you're suppressing it or something. I don't know. Just think. Listen to your intuition, I guess. Don't let it get to you when it comes to getting whatever, but don't let abundance get over your head, I guess. Just don't, and I'm not going to sit here and say it's not going to, I don't know what could happen. This is the future card. Anything could possibly happen. You're in the present, try to use that intuition, as well as don't let this get up. I can't even see it. There we go. Whatever don't do something before, like, without thinking, I'm assuming. And it's okay to use your intuition. It's okay to do the right thing so you won't get to this part. Don't just use, or don't, oh, what am I saying? I'm trying my best to, like, I'm sorry. I get, like, very.
No, you sound clear. Go ahead. Don't just let it flow.
I'm trying, because I literally just did this, mind you. I shuffled while, we were watching the presentation. So I didn't even get time to forget it. But, this could be somebody else. Whatever your decision right here could possibly be doing the same thing to somebody. This could be you. This could be somebody else as well. It could also be something. But if you're going to let the universe or whatever give you something, don't do something to fuck it up, I guess. Or you're going to get a reality check. You might end up like this, or somebody else is going to end up like this. So don't do something without thinking, but in an intuitive, your stomach is also, you have brain cells in your stomach as well. It's a fucking thing. Up here, your heart and your stomach, it can think. So intuition, in my opinion, comes through the gut.
Yeah, that's fact. Yeah.
So
intuition can prevent.
It definitely can, because you hear so many people say, "Oh, I had this feeling," but they didn't. They ignored it. They go by what's up here. Don't do that. You trust your intuition, trust your gut feeling, so you don't end up in a bad place when the universe herself give you something. That's you got to be smart with whatever decision or whatever she gives you. That's what I got. Hope it made sense. I don't know.
No, that definitely made sense.
Because mind you, it's right here. The guidebook, I did not use it. I just
yeah. Make sure to follow us on Instagram. For me at _real_studio2groovy, and Kim's is Kiki Akhenaten, or Phantasmagorical.
If you can't find Kiki Akhenaten, Phantasmagorical was another. People struggle finding my name. I don't know why, but that's how it is.
So I also wanted to say, if you have any content, whether it's a short film, music, you want to push a product, you want to push a service, if you have anything that you need promoted, please contact me, because I don't charge a lot for promotion. We're all Black entrepreneurs and we all trying to get it. And I don't supercharge at all. Very, very fair prices. If you want merchandise, please hit my DMs. I'm still selling hoodies, still selling shirts. What else?
I forgot my singing bowl too.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
I forgot. I'm forgetting everything. I'm sorry.
It's all good. Once again, I just appreciate everybody coming in. Y'all been rocking with us. Every time we post a video, y'all being here. Remember that if y'all cannot find this, it's not because anything I'm doing, is YouTube censoring information real deal heavy right now. So I just want to,
I said, which we expected, because they do that to every person who wants to give out information.
Yeah. Especially conscious driven or boosting information. They try to block that. So I want to end this the way that we always do, with love and light, and we will see you all next time. Peace.
I'm gonna just, while we go away.
Hey.
Wait a minute, no.
There we go.
Is it going away? Nope.
No, it's rocking. Get it there.
Okay.
Fire. Yeah.
I'm not used to letting it go slow. Like usually when you're slow, certain sizes will go on, but I gotta just go fast. But
Hey, that was fire. Yes, we are on Facebook as well. You can just it's just Studio 2 Groovy. Everything would be a Studio 2 Groovy. You can find me on Twitter. Well, Twitter is actually at the Waypod, official Waypod. But yeah, we are definitely on Facebook. Kim, I don't know if you want to give out your Facebook or not. I know you're more personal.
Yeah, I'm on a personal side. I choose Facebook to just be like for family and friends. Just Instagram is okay with me. I'm just hopefully you guys understand that, but I'm just.
But me, you can find me in the cut. Just know stuff get emotional. I'll be all Scorpio on my Facebook. So
I'm never on Facebook, so you won't. Yeah, I just want to put that. I'm never on Facebook anyways. Him, he's always on there, so you can definitely
find me in the cut. All right, y'all. We love y'all. Peace.